Hello, my beautiful people. It is I, it is her, it is she, it is Coach. And today's video, I am going to talk about that thing called fear, okay? Because we all have it. It's all a part of us somehow, some way. And for some apparent reason, we allow that fear to take over our thoughts, our bodies, everything, right? So when I talk about fear, I want to talk about how it relates to you taking the risk and taking a chance on you. Sometimes we know what we need to do. We got that. We know exactly what we need to do. We know exactly how we need to do it. We know exactly what time we need to do it. We know exactly when we want to do it. But when it comes to us doing it, when it comes to us taking forward a step, when it comes to us doing the thing that is necessary for the growth in that moment, we allow the fear to stop us. And the fear is just basically that word uncertain. I am uncertain on how this is going to pan out. I am uncertain on how this is going to go. I am uncertain if I am good enough. I am uncertain if I can achieve this. I am uncertain if it's meant for me. Why am I uncertain? And it's just the fear that hovers around in our mind that gets us to that place of being uncertain. So when you connect fear with uncertainty, you get nothing. Nothing gets accomplished. Nothing gets achieved. Nothing is done in that particular moment that you need to have it done. And I want to say that in the reference to when I wanted to start doing the things that I needed to do for my health. When I wanted to take and do the things I needed to do in reference to growing a business, it takes a lot of perseverance and it takes a lot of mental mindset to get it done. But sometimes we get wrapped up in the fear and uncertainty, and it stops us from doing anything because we are just uncertain of how that's going to come out. And what you don't want to do is fail. We've all been down that road of failure. We've all been down that road of not being sure if this is going to work for me and not being sure if it's going to work in my favor, right? But that's when your faith has to come in. That's when you have to take a chance and you have to believe in the higher being better than you're believing in yourself, that he has you, that he's going to take you by your hand and he's going to walk you through the process. Now, it may not come out to be how you want it to be, but you never know if you never take the chance on you, which is you have to take that fear and throw that bad boy in the back and keep yourself going when it comes to you taking a chance on you, because the fear and the uncertainty all connects, which then stops you from making the necessary steps to enhancing your life, to growing your life, to growing your own mental capacity, to taking that step to make it seem as though you're doing the things that are necessary for you to get out of the rut where you're at, right? So I want to take it here to the Bible just for a second. Now, I'm not a bibliologist, anything like that, but I want to talk about Jonah in the Bible, right? And I want to talk about how he was so fearful. Everybody knows about Jonah in the Bible. And if you don't know about Jonah, I definitely suggest that you read about Jonah, because his story just relates to so many people in so many different ways, but we just don't connect the dots. So I'm just going to give you a little briefing on Jonah and how it connects to fear and uncertainty, right? So Jonah he was given a task. And the task was he had to go deliver a message to these heathens, okay? These boys was crumb of the crumb, cream of the crumb, and you ain't coming up in their territory telling them no anything and telling them what's going to happen, what ain't going to happen, because they going to take you out, okay? So Jonah knew that if he went and delivered this message that God wanted him to deliver, that he was by sure uncertain what was going to happen. He didn't know what could happen. He thought of a process that could possibly happen to him, because sometimes the mind goes into the way in the back and it just takes us off of a course of craziness, right? So Jonah knew that if he delivered the message, he was by all means going to have a problem, and he was going to either one, die, that's going to end him, two, He didn't know what was going to happen. 3, they could have beat him up. They could have banked him. They could have jumped on him. Anything, right? So his mindset took him to a whole new place. He said, I'm not going to deliver that message. I'm not even, God, I ain't into it. Let me tell you right now, you tripping and I gotta go. So Jonah went all the way to the other side of the world. He was going by far and far and far away from his task. And because he was going far and far away from his task, he failed to look at the bigger picture. He allowed his fear and his uncertainty to take him out because he didn't know what was going to happen. Only thing he knew was that those boys over there, they ain't play. And you don't go over there delivering a message of destruction to people that don't play because they may not take that very lightly. So his mind, he knew that he had to run. He had to run in the opposite direction because in his mind, it made him safe. In his mind, he felt comfortable. In his mind, he was okay and nothing was going to happen. But God said, didn't I deliver you this task? And didn't I tell you you needed to take on the message and deliver it to the people as I instructed you? So because he needed to take on the task and that fear was taking over him, he was running away from his responsibility. He was running away from understanding what needed to be done because he wanted to play it safe. He wanted to play it safe in the space where he was at. And when you play it safe, you don't have to worry about anything happening because nothing's going to happen. You are in your safe space. You're in your safe zone. You know exactly what's going on. You know the people that's around you. You know the outcome of your days because you're not doing anything that's risky. You're not doing anything that's going to take you out of that comfort zone. So in the midst of Jonah, going away from his task, going away from his responsibility that God gave him to do, he decided he going to keep going in that direction. And God, by all means, was showing him, we're not going to keep doing this, son. You're going to do what I said to do because I know you have it in you to deliver the message. You have it in you to give the people what I instructed you to do, which is you have it in you to take on whatever task you're trying to take on. You have it in you to see that there is light at the end of your tunnel. You have it in you to take on the proper needs and the proper steps to get this task done, whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish for yourself. But you have to see that you are worthy of delivering the message. Whatever message it may be, you are worthy of delivering the message, right? So Jonah kept going in the opposite direction. And during that time, he got on the boat. Okay, he got on the boat with some people. And on the boat started, storm is coming, the boat rocking, the people looking like they're going to die off because they like, why this man on this boat, man did this. And he said, the only way to save you is you got to throw me overboard. You got to throw me overboard so that you don't die because I'm a part of running away from a task that I was assigned because I'm so fearful and uncertain of how this message is going to be delivered and how it's going to come out to the people and how they're going to perceive and how they're going to accept this message. So if you throw me overboard, it's going to be all right because you're going to be safe. But I'm going to be over here because I can't keep running away from the task at hand, right? So they threw Jonah overboard. The wind calmed, the storm calmed, the sea calmed, but Jonah was swallowed by a big old whale. He was taken in by the whale. And in the midst of those 3 days while Jonah was in that whale, he got time to think. He had time to marinate. He had time to talk to the God. He had time to understand what it was that he was supposed to do. And he realized, I don't want to die up in here. I don't want to die up in here. I might as well just go ahead and do what you instructed me to do because you see something in me that I obviously can't see in myself. But you know me better than I know myself because you created me. So Jonah went. He got thrown onto the sea by the whale. The whale threw him up. And he was able to go over to the land and deliver the message. And as he delivered the message, his first deliverance was a little shaky. You're going to die if you don't change your ways. You're going to die. Right? His message was a little shaky. Then, next day he came back. You gonna die if you don't change your ways. Right? Then the next day he came back. And the next day he came back. And the next day he came back. And each day as he was coming back, he got more confident in his deliverance. He got more enthused with the message. And he was speaking more clearer, more louder, more boisterous, so people can hear him from afar. So they can see that he's standing here, he's delivering this message. And he's not backing down. He's not stopping because he's delivering the message. And he got more clearer. You're going to die if you don't change your ways and do rights. You ain't going to make it, right? So he delivered the message with tone, with strength, with power. He delivered the message. And in the time of him delivering the message, the people started to listen. The people started to take on what he was saying. They ain't want to die. Who wants to die? Nobody want to die. So they started to take on the message. They understood the message at hand. Even though they were Vikings, they were heathens, they took on the message. And I say this to deliver this message to you is because fear and uncertainty will leave you dry. Fear and uncertainty will take you to places that you don't even want to go because you don't even know how it's going to work out because you haven't even taken a chance on you. You haven't even taken the chance to say, I can do this. You haven't even taken a chance to say, well, if I fail, at least I can keep on going. What's the worst? What's the worst thing that can happen if you decide you want to go for a new job? You go on an interview, they're going to interview you, then you might not get a call. That's the worst. You might not get a call. That's the worst, but you could get a call and you could go on an interview. Right? What's the worst of you wanting to apply for a home loan? What's the worst? You might get denied or you might get a mortgage amount that you could possibly go out and start looking for houses. What's the worst that could happen? You don't get the mortgage. You want to start a business, but you don't know how to start the business. You're tired of working for somebody. You want to work for yourself, but understand that working for yourself, it's a lot of grit. It's a lot of hard work, and you working 24 hours versus 8, 10, or 12. You're putting in time, work, and effort into your mental, into yourself, and also into your business. What's the worst that can happen? You don't grow as a human being mentally. You don't understand the process of how it works. You don't get the clients that you thought you were going to get. And the business goes dormant. What's the worst that can happen? Business goes dormant, nothing happens. But in the midst of you doing that, you learned something. In the midst of you doing that, you gained something, which makes you want to do it a little bit more. You want to buy a new car. What's the worst that can happen? You apply for the loan and they say, yes, you can get a new car. Or they say, no, you can't get a new car. What's the worst that can happen? They say no. See, in our minds, we condition ourselves to the worst of the worst. Something that's probably never going to happen. But in our minds, because we are so conditioned on thinking about the negative instead of thinking about the positive, instead of allowing fear and uncertainty to take over, we just allow nothing to happen. And we stay comfortable as Jonah was. He was comfortable. But to get uncomfortable, you have to shift your thinking. You have to shift your thoughts. You have to shift how you're looking at life. You have to shift your actions to get uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is a gift. It's a gift that God gave us because He wants you to grow. He wants you to be better. He wants you to see the potential in yourself that you are unable to see because you can't see it yet. He can see it, but you can't see it, just as in Jonah. Jonah couldn't see the potential that he had. He couldn't get the potential that he had because he was so focused on the fear and the uncertainty. So I want you to start to do this. When fear and uncertainty comes into your mind, challenge the thought. Challenge it. Ask yourself, why did I think that? What's going to happen if I do decide to do something about it? What's the worst that can happen with the thought? Sometimes we have to challenge ourselves in order to get a new thought process going in our minds. And once we do that and we challenge ourselves, the possibilities of growth is endless. The possibilities of you taking those necessary actions are endless. The things that need to happen within yourself are endless. And when you depend on a higher power than yourself, you know that you have power, you have strength, you have the tenacity to go forward in the things that you are trying to accomplish for yourself. But it won't happen overnight if you don't take action and stop allowing fear and uncertainty to take over your life. This is Coach, and I'm so thankful that you came and listened to my words that I had to speak to you today. I want you to really start to look at your life and take on the challenge of changing what you want to do to be able to grow into the individual that you know that you can become, because fear and uncertainty will not take over your life. Fear and uncertainty does not live in your head. Fear and uncertainty is not a part of your DNA. Fear and uncertainty is not who you are. You are better than that. You are more stronger than that. And the strength that you have, the power and the confidence that you have in yourself is unbelievable and unmatchable when you start to do the things that you know are necessary for you. If you like this content, definitely do share it with others. Subscribe to this channel, and I will be giving out more powerful, motivational, inspirational words of encouragement to help you grow in life, to help you take on the challenges with your health, with your mental, with your physical, and stop believing those lies that we tell ourselves about ourselves, because fear and uncertainty does not live in your life. It's not part of your DNA. It is not a part of who you are. And once you get that in your mind, once you believe that you are better than your thoughts, then you can start controlling what's going on in your mind, and you can take control and do the things that are necessary for you at those particular moments that you need to do them. Because fear and uncertainty are lies, and they do not live in your life. This is Coach again. If you love this content, do share with others, subscribe and like this video, and I will see you on the next video. Every Sunday I upload, so look for my new video coming on next Sunday. Peace.